Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Let's thank our members Invictus, Crazy Book, Cuts, and our patrons Interceptor, Richardson, Danny Cage, and Rupert. And thank you all the other members, all the other Patreons, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So today we're going to do another one of those videos on how an aircraft would fit in the meta and a general sense of what an aircraft would look like in the current meta and in the future of War Thunder, the soonish future. Obviously, we cannot predict too far into the future, but yeah, and I already did a video on the Tornado doing this, but I mostly talked about the ADV variant or the Interceptor variants, right? So we talked about the F3 there and how the sky flashes should be added, and the M9Ls and the Fox Hunter Radar, I think it's called. So yeah, we talk mostly about the ADV, which is pretty alright, to be honest. But to be more honest, I think we are more likely to get the IDS first, or the interdictor strike aircraft, right? So, for example, it will not have this IDS. Basically, it is the interdictor, as I said, so it is kind of a bomber, a low altitude bomber kind of thing. So it will not have the most amount of air-to-air capabilities that the F3 has. So the radar, I don't even think he has an air-to-air mode, or if he does, it is probably more limited than the Fox Hunter radar of the ADV. And also, especially the missiles. So initially, the missiles that it carry for air-to-air are only 2 AIM-9Ls. So you will only be able to protect yourself with 2 AIM-9Ls, which is fine, you know. The aircraft is not made to be just attacking aircraft in general, but also it is kind of limited, right? But I think it's alright. It would be a very, very interesting aircraft nonetheless. And also you have the BK-27, the Mauser cannon, which is a 27mm revolver cannon that had 180 rounds as well. So you would have 2 AIM-9s together with one cannon. Maybe the GR4, which is the more advanced version of the IDS, could carry the AIM-9L, but I couldn't confirm it. Normally they just used other more advanced missiles. So yeah. Another thing, obviously, as I said, this is the bomber variant. So you will have some kind of, some different types of stuff. So, for example, obviously you would be able to carry any type of normal bombs or even rockets. That would be just a normal thing. But obviously, using the lightning targeting pod, which is the same, or I don't know, it's the lightning or the TLD pod, but the TLD is the same as the Jaguar GR1A. Or in the Harrier GR7. So you would have a pod and then a laser designator to be able to drop pave waves. So laser guided bombs or even other types of, it's more laser guided, but not, it would be like those British versions of the paveway, right? So it would not be the American ones. So it would be the Mark 20 bomb and stuff like that. But also it could carry the GBU-24 as well. So it can carry multiple types of bombs. It can have it basically has 5 pylons for this. So it has technically 3 under the fuselage hardpoints and 4 under the wing pylons with the capacity of 9,000 kilograms. So a lot of bombs. But 2 of them on their wings would be for the missiles. So we would have just 5 for bombs. So that kind of limits a little bit, not by weight, but by the amount of payload, amount of pylons. But still, if you get the designation pod, it would be another pod pylon that would be used. So you would have only 4. And with that, you could carry 4 or 500 pound paveway 4 bombs, or even 3 1,000 pound Mark 20 paveway 2, or even 2 2,000 pound paveway 3, which is the GBU 24. So it is kind of limited in the sense of how many bombs it can carry, but that's just due to the amount of pylons. It actually doesn't have a lot of pylons, even though it's a very strong aircraft that can carry a lot of weight, which is a funny thing, to be honest, to have a problem such as this. Also, the IDS could carry the anti-radiation missiles and brimstone missiles and other types of missiles, right? But still, I mean, it could carry like, they say here 9 alarm missile anti-radiation missiles, but it could carry some older missiles as well for anti-radiation and even anti-ship, if I'm not mistaken. So it was even used for the Navy, for the German Navy. So yeah, it can carry multiple types of bombs, even in the future, if we get anti-radiation seeds or even anti-ship or something like that. That would be pretty interesting. On the performance side of things, I mean, you would have around 150 kilonewtons of force total. So it's a very strong engine. This is static. So yeah, it would be around 200 together with the with optimal air intake. And that would make it go close to 1,500 kilometers per hour near the sea level, which is very fast. So we have a rate of climb of 77 meters per second, which is not that good. And the thrust to weight is 0.77, very similar to the Mirage 2000. So yeah, and it's not a dogfighter. Obviously, because of the swing wing system, you can kind of dogfight a little bit. But the wings are very small and the aircraft itself is a heavy aircraft. So you don't expect it to be a very good dogfighter. It will be a very fast aircraft with very powerful engines to fly low and attack ground targets. That's the main objective. And obviously with the bombs and stuff, guided bombs, you can actually climb and just attack a lot of the ground targets in ground battles as well. So that will be the main thing about it on the sense of the meta right now, okay? It will not be great against aircraft. I mean, it will be alright because you are still fast, so you can get people by surprise. The 9Ls are one of the best missiles in the game right now, IR. Even if you only have 2 of them, it is, I know, problematic, but still, it is usable, right? You have a cannon, so maybe they add the computer for the calculating a bullet drop, so 180 rounds will not be that low, you know? And maybe even the RWR is added properly for these more modern aircraft, and then we have kind of a more advanced way to just defend ourselves against those more advanced missiles. Because if you're getting into a battle, because this is going to be top tier, right? It's going to be 11.3 at least. So if this is actually just facing MiG-29s, I mean, if it's just facing, if it's added right now without any like other aircraft, 4th generation aircraft, it will be fine, but it will suffer a little bit against the F-14s, against the MLVs, against the Mirage 2000s, especially because of the BVR missiles and the radars that those aircraft have. Obviously, flying low and very fast will help you a lot, delivering the bombs and getting back to base or trying to get some sneak tactics behind people. But still, it is going to be a difficult aircraft to fly, I imagine. Just because it is already difficult to fly any attacker aircraft. This will be one of the best attack aircraft in an RB kind of situation, right? But it still is going to suffer. And it's not even due to the aircraft that we face, right? It's just due to the map size and the way that the maps are. You kind of are obligated to just go for the middle of the map. Normally, you cannot like flank and attack a target that it's hidden or something like that. So you don't have much option. Just go into the middle of the map and try to do something against ground targets. And as I said, I would not use this aircraft as a fighter. I would probably just fly low, drop my bombs on bases to get a lot more points and money, and then I would try to just keep going and try to get people by surprise with the M9Ls. That would be my strategy with it right now. But if something like in the future of Meta of War Thunder, something like a MiG-29 comes, F-16s, F-15s, Su-27s, aircraft like that, this will start to be a little bit more put it to the side, right? It will be an aircraft that, as I said, it is problematic because it is good at a very specific thing, and because you don't have the BVR missiles, because you don't have the properly good ADV radar, it makes it kind of, you just are going to have to defend yourself. But compared to the other attackers that we have, or the other bombers and etc. that we have, I mean, not in this BR, because we barely have anything in this BR in this sense. We don't have the Su-24 yet, we don't have the F-111, so we kind of don't have this type of aircraft still. But still, like, any type of aircraft, like an attacker or a bomber, already suffers a little bit, and this will be the last one that is suffering, right? It will suffer less than the other ones, just because it's so fast. So you will be able to actually drop your bombs, I think, safely, depending on the map and depending on how you fly the aircraft. But it will be tight, and you will need to be careful. I think if it's, as I said, if it's at it right now, it's going to be fine. It will face some problems, but with the 2 A9s and the cannon and the amount of countermeasures and stuff that you will be able to carry, it's fine. All right. But if it's going to face MiG-29s and stuff like that, it might not even be top tier. I think it might be like 11.0, maybe even a little bit lower. I mean, not too low, because, you know, it's still an aircraft that it is going to be better than most aircraft, but even like a 10.7 kind of thing, maybe, you know. But yeah, guys, this is it. My opinions on how the Tornado IDS would fit. Remember, it will be added for eventually for the UK, for Germany, and for Italy. 3 nations can have these aircraft, so very, very cool. Remember also that the ADV, which is the interceptor variant, as I said, it is only used by the UK and by Italy. Germany never used the Tornado ADV. So the Tornado that the Germans can have is the IDS, because the ECR, which is the other variant that the Germans had, it doesn't even have a cannon normally, so it is a kind of a seed kind of operation. It's not really worth it. The IDS is much more combat capable than the ECR. So for the German Luftwaffe, the IDS will probably be the only Tornado that we will ever see for the Germans. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you think about the Tornado IDS, if you think it's going to be competitive or not. As I said, on ground maps it can be very, very competitive. On air maps, not so much. So that's my opinion. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I see you guys on the next one. So bye guys, see you.